Hello, members of SEDS USA. My name is Peter J. Schubert. I'm a professor of electrical and computer engineering at IUPUI in Indianapolis. I'm also the director of the Richard G. Lugar Center for Renewable Energy, which is named after longstanding Senator Dick Lugar of Indiana. I'm here to talk to you about space solar power and how I can ask for your help to solve one of the most urgent crises that has ever faced our civilization, and that is to have a large renewable energy source that can last in perpetuity and not harm our environment to the great extent that we've seen with our existing sources of energy. So if we first look at where's the problems, some of those include how we're affecting our climate with the introduction of large amounts of greenhouse gases into our environment, largely because of the need for energy. Another issue is peak oil. We've reached a point where the discovery of new low-cost sources of oil are diminishing. So we've been at a plateau for about 6 years in terms of oil production at a time when India and China have been growing their demand. Then also there's nuclear proliferation, which we're seeing in a number of developing nations where they're purportedly using these for peaceful purposes, but there may also be some military interest as well. So we need to provide an alternative. If we look at renewable energies, one of the most important ones is the sun. If we look at all of our forms of energy, ultimately they all came from our sun or some other sun. So if we can get our power directly from the sun, that's going to be the best we can do. The best place to collect sunlight is in orbit where there's no nighttime, there's no clouds, there's no dust. So if we can collect solar power in orbit and beam it down to the Earth, then we can have a scalable, clean energy for all the Earth, available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 364 days a year. It is in shadow for a short time at each of the equinoxes. Also, because this is a large platform in space, this is a stepping stone for the stars and a place for some of humanity to be off planet in case of a really bad disaster. So this is called space solar power, or sometimes space-based solar power. I'll abbreviate it as SSP. In the 40 or so years since it's been proposed, a number of people have proposed architectures for how to accomplish SSP. Because there are so many different architects and all these people are intelligent and strong-willed, there's no consensus on how to get this job done. So my goal is to develop a objective optimization methodology where all the people who have architectures of their own design can participate in and contribute in a modular mathematical model form the components of their architecture to achieve space solar power. If we take all those modules and provide those to an artificial intelligence program with a fitness function that looks at minimum cost and low risk at the same time, then we can come up with an objective solution for the best way to achieve space solar power. Once we can all agree, or most of us can agree, on a single approach, then we can all speak in unison to our congressmen and to federal agencies to say this is what we support. We need to get started on this. This is something that's going to take 30 years, but if we don't start it now, it won't be ready in time for when our conventional sources of energy begin to run out and the environmental devastation of our planet is accelerated to the point where we're spending more money cleaning up than we are in moving ahead. Where does this bring us? I'd like to ask for the members of SEDS USA to work together to help us identify the individuals who are working in these areas. So I have a master list of such people. I'd like to match your location with their location, have you be the ambassadors to go talk to them in person or by phone, and help convince them of the importance, the urgency, and the value of participating in this activity under the umbrella of OSER, O-S-E-R, or the Organization for Space Energy Research. There'll be a webinar and a website with information on how you can participate. Your role will be to make first contact and then to remain as an envoy, a point of contact to each of these individuals as we go through the process of gathering from them their modules and then providing back to them the optimal solution. We'll also then pursue lobbying activities in Washington, D.C., and I'd like for some of the students to help me with that as well. So there's a number of different activities where you can get involved with. Please look at the website and other information for more details. Thank you for your consideration.